Okay, I admit it. I'm a hoarder.
Hoarder of art supplies, that is. Who could pass up these beautiful resin skins? Who could throw them out? I couldn't, obviously. Well, join me today as we upcycle some of these into something pretty. Now, let's dive in. Welcome, SeaRoxx, to a Whatever Wednesday kind of project. So I picked up a couple of these trays from Target in the dollar section, although at $5 each, it wasn't exactly a bargain, but that was quite a while ago, so I'm sure they're probably double that now. So, we artists are closeted hoarders, and anything that could be made into art, we kind of hang on to. Well, these are resin skins or resin drippings from other projects that I've done. And a good resin artist never lets any resin go to waste. So let's make an artsy craft with it. All you're going to need is a heat gun or a heat source to warm the resin up so you can trim it into the shape that you want. You're also going to need some scissors so you can cut those warmed up pieces of resin. I'm also going to utilize these other resin drippings that I have. They were from a bowl and an extra tray. So I'm going to set up in one and then work in the other. Now, if you like puzzles, this is totally going to be your jam. So how you're going to use that heat gun is just to warm up the pieces of resin that you want to trim off, because otherwise it's like trying to cut leather if you don't. And here's my safety disclaimer warning for you today. Please be careful when you're using a heat gun close to your fingers like that, because you can burn yourself with it. Now, because I had those double trays, I went ahead and did my layout in one, and now I'm going to prep this one with some paint, and I'm actually going to glue the pieces into this one. Our paint is all dry, and I am going to use a Turbo Techie glue because, I can be a little impatient with these things. So when you glue, here's my helpful hint for you. Get glue across the whole surface of the piece that you're going to put down, because when you're going to pour resin on top or around it, there's going to be air bubbles that get trapped. Well, the glue will help seal out those air bubbles, because then otherwise you're just chasing bubbles for the next hour and a half or whatever. And helpful hint number 2, make sure and keep that glue on the bottom side of your piece. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot more cleaning to do before you pour the resin. So essentially, all I'm going to do here is just transfer that design that I laid out in one, and now I'm gluing it down in this one. Well, my piece is completely dried, and I did fill in those gaps with some little pieces, and I think it turned out so pretty. I am going to clean this up with a little isopropyl alcohol, get all the fingerprints and any leftover glue or smudges off before I pour that resin. Now, I am using just a clear coat of art resin today, and I pushed the envelope a little bit. I would recommend doing this in 2 layers if you're not used to working with resin. I did do it in one, but I will be honest with you, I did end up chasing bubbles for a good hour. because it was just a little thick. But anyway, it turned out great. Now, believe it or not, we are almost done. Torch those bubbles out, cover it for the night, and our reveal is next. I love how this turned out. It's a little beachy, it's a little artsy. You could use it as a tray, as it is intended, or you could even make a variety of them and put them on the wall or use it in decor in a bookcase or something. However you use it, it does come out quite attractive. Hey, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed yourself and perhaps you're inspired to upcycle those resin skins you've been hanging on to too. I invite you to join the SeaRoxx family. Like, subscribe, and share with all your friends. You can find me on my other social media platforms, although YouTube is where I'm most active, but you can also find my website and my Etsy shop. Thanks for joining me today on a Whatever Wednesday kind of project. Until next time, remember what Dr. Seuss once said, you'll miss the best things if you keep your eyes shut.